So this one's talking about arithmetic sequences. It wants you to write down an expression for the nth term. So an arithmetic sequence is one that increases or decreases by the same constant value. So let's have a look at the differences between the terms. So we can see that this sequence is going up in 4s. So to get the next term, we had 4 to the previous term. So when it's talking about the nth term of the sequence, then we know then from this fact it's got something to do with the 4 times table. So the 4 times table rule is 4n. So the first number in the 4 times table, 4 times 1, the second number in the 4 times table, 4 times 2, and so forth, where n is the term number. So because n is the term number, so first term, second term, third term, fourth term, and so forth, then we can write out our 4 times table, 4, 8, 12, and then when we compare that to the sequence that they actually gave us of 2, 6, and 10, we can see at the moment that we have to subtract 2 to get back to the sequence that they gave us. So the final rule then would be 4n take away 2. We should do a check, so let's have a look at the fifth term, and so that means that n would equal 5. So 4 times 5 take away 2, 20 take away 2 is 18. So our check worked. So it's quite useful to check your answers as you do them. So 4n take away 2. He then goes on and says, is 86 a term in this sequence? And you've got to give a reason, so you can't just say yes or no. You could carry on the sequence, just keep adding on 4, 2, 6, 10, 14, 18, 22 and so on. You could just show by just continuing the sequence that 86 just wouldn't exist. That would take a bit of time. It's worth 1 mark, so they've given you a clue by giving you the idea of working out what the nth term rule is for the sequence. So if 86 was part of that rule, then 4n take away 2 would equal 86, and n would be a whole number. So the question basically is n a whole number, an integer? If it is, then 86 would be a part of the sequence, because n, remember, is the term number, and term numbers are integers, whole numbers. So we solve this in the traditional way. So add 2 to both sides so that we can get the value of n. So 4n's are going to be worth 88, and then divide by 4, we would find that n is equal to, well, 88 divided by 4 is 22. So we're basically going to say yes, 86 is a term in the sequence. Because we can see it's the 22nd term. So as I say, you could have written out the sequence and continued it, but you'd have to write out 22 numbers to get to 86 as part of the sequence.